Chapter 14, Depths of Danger. Lyra pushed off from the cavern wall, her fins propelling her through the crystal-clear water. The beam of her dive light illuminated the vibrant colors of the coral and the darting shapes of fish, but her scientific curiosity was overshadowed by a growing unease. She felt it again, a strong current tugging at her, threatening to sweep her off course. Suddenly, the current surged, pulling her deeper into the cavern. Panic surged through her as she struggled against the force, her arms flailing in a futile attempt to regain control. The darkness of the cavern walls closed in around her, adding to her fear. Her heart pounded in her chest, her breath coming in short, sharp gasps. "I can't let the fear take over," she thought, trying to steady herself. "I need to find a way out." Darius, standing at the shore, felt a sudden, overwhelming sense of dread. His eyes scanned the horizon, his heart racing as he sensed Lyra's distress through their growing bond. Without a moment's hesitation, he dove into the water, his powerful form slicing through the waves with urgency. His tentacles, usually concealed, unfurled with a powerful grace, propelling him through the water. They reached for her, sliding across her skin with a forceful grace that sent shivers down her spine. The soft suction cups of his appendages created a pleasurable sting, leaving marks of possession that made her whimper even in her panic. Darius's concern for Lyra was palpable, his actions driven by a deep, primal need to protect her. His tentacles wrapped around her, pulling her close, their strength a reassuring presence in the dark, swirling waters. "You're safe now, Lyra," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "I won't let anything happen to you." Darius brought Lyra to a secluded underwater cave, away from immediate danger. The cave was dimly lit by bioluminescent organisms, casting an ethereal glow over the surroundings. The water was warm and inviting, the gentle currents brushing against their skin. Vibrant corals adorned the walls, teeming with marine life, creating a surreal and enchanting atmosphere. His tentacles, a fascinating extension of his primal self, reached for her, gliding over her skin with a graceful finesse that sent delightful shivers down her spine. The soft texture of his appendages left traces of warmth that evoked a sense of safety and belonging in her heart, melting away her apprehension and replacing it with a deep, primal connection. One tentacle curled around her waist, gently embracing her as it explored her form, while another brushed her shoulder, igniting a spark of excitement. Lyra leaned into his touch, surrendering to the stimulating sensations and emotional bond that deepened between them. "Darius," she breathed, her voice filled with wonder. Their eyes locked, a shared understanding reflecting the raw passion that surged beneath the surface. With a fluid motion, Darius lifted Lyra effortlessly, supporting her as they floated in the water. The thrill of being held aloft, at his mercy, sent electrifying excitement through her. He turned her gently so that they were facing each other, his strong arms encircling her. His hold was firm yet tender, assuring her of his unwavering protection. The warm currents enveloped them like a soft embrace, heightening the intimacy of the moment. Lyra could feel the steady rhythm of Darius's heartbeat against her as their connection deepened, a melody that pulsed in time with the waves around them. "You're incredible, Lyra," Darius murmured, his dark eyes shining with admiration. "We are intertwined in this moment, part of the ocean's magic." Lyra smiled, awash in feelings of exhilaration and acceptance. Here, in this enchanted place, they shared a powerful connection that transcended all barriers. They embraced tightly, their bodies fitting together seamlessly, enveloped in the warm glow of the bioluminescent cave. After their deeply intimate moment, they surfaced from the depths, finding a tranquil spot on the beach. Lyra sat on the warm sand, wrapping her arms around her knees, her gaze fixed on the horizon. Darius settled beside her, his dark eyes reflecting the starlight, their hearts aligned in a newfound unity, ready to face whatever awaited them together. "Darius," Lyra began, her voice soft and thoughtful. "I've never felt anything like this before. It's like every part of me is alive when I'm with you." Darius turned to her, his voice filled with vulnerability. Lyra, I've been alone for so long. You make me feel like I can be myself, completely. Lyra looked at him, her dark eyes shining with unshed tears. She reevaluated her feelings for Darius, realizing the depth of her emotions and the acceptance of his true nature. She acknowledged that her desires and his nature meshed together, creating a bond that transcended the physical. In that quiet moment on the beach, under the watchful gaze of the stars, Lyra and Darius found a deeper understanding of each other and the love that bound them together. Lyra and Darius surfaced, breaking through the waves with a gasp. They swam to the shore, the moon casting a silver glow over the quiet beach. Lyra's body still tingled with the memory of Darius's touch, her heart pounding with a mix of exhilaration and newfound emotion. They found a secluded spot by a cluster of rocks, the sand still warm from the day's sun. Lyra hugged her knees to her chest, looking out at the dark sea. Her voice was soft, almost a whisper, as she tried to put her feelings into words. Darius, I've never felt anything like this before. It's like every part of me is alive when I'm with you. She turned to him, her dark eyes reflecting the moonlight. I can't explain it, but it's overwhelming. Darius sat beside her, his powerful form silhouetted against the night. His voice was filled with a raw vulnerability that made Lyra's heart ache. Lyra, I've been alone for so long. You can't imagine the isolation, the loneliness. He looked at her, his eyes filled with a profound longing. But with you, I feel like I can be myself, completely. It's a freedom I haven't known in centuries. Lyra listened, her heart swelling with emotion. She thought about the intensity of their encounter, the connection that went beyond the physical. She realized that her feelings for Darius ran deeper than she had ever imagined. It wasn't just about the thrill of discovery or the allure of the unknown, it was about the man, the being, who made her feel seen, understood, and alive. She looked at him, her eyes filled with a newfound acceptance. I never believed in the inexplicable, Darius. I've always been the skeptic, the scientist who needed proof. But with you, I'm learning to embrace the unknown. She reached out, her hand touching his cheek. Your nature, your world, it's all part of who you are, and I accept that. I accept you. Darius leaned into her touch, his eyes closed briefly as if savoring the moment. When he opened them, they were filled with a warmth that sent a shiver down Lyra's spine. Lyra, you don't know what that means to me, he said, his voice thick with emotion. I've never dared to hope for someone like you. As they sat there, the sound of the waves crashing against the shore, Lyra felt a profound sense of peace. She knew that her journey with Darius was far from over, that there were still mysteries to unravel and challenges to face. But in that moment, she was content to simply be with him, to explore the depths of their connection, and to embrace the unknown together.